Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Well, today we are reviewing the new size in the Aganorsa Leaf Supreme Leaf. This is the Toro. Now, one thing we can safely assume is that this is going to be a good cigar. I reviewed the Robusto, which was earlier this year. It came out, it sold out so fast that a lot of people didn't even have a chance to try it. So that, as you saw in the lead-in, they brought it back in a larger size. Here's the difference. This is 6 by 54. First of all, there's your density. The Robusto was 5 by 52. This is a little longer and a little fatter. 2/64ths of an inch bigger in circumference. Makes a difference. Maybe. So that's what we're really looking at is what is the difference? Is it as good or better or not as much as the Robusto? That's our mission. Not that is it any good. It's the same cigar in a bigger size. So all Aganorsa Leaf, everything, all Aganorsa. So let's just get right to it. The new Aganorsa Leaf, Supreme Leaf Toro. All right, let's see how our draw is. First of all, we got a closed foot, so it may not tell the whole story here. But it is a good draw, which tells me it's going to be even better once that slightly closed foot is opened up. Well, it does start different from the Robusto. More of a cedar-leaning flavor with brown sugar and a little cinnamon. There is a lot of nutmeg, and there is some leatheriness there. Black coffee, a lot of black pepper. 7.5, moving up toward 8, 7.5 to 8. So it's a nice sweet start, but there is a lot of I'll call it somewhat leathery nutmeg. A lot of dark, rough flavors there attached to those very sweet flavors. So nothing wrong with the start, but an obvious difference. I thought I would point that out. So let's just see what we have at first third. First third. And the flavor notes are about like I described. There's quite a bit of a cedar with just a little smoothness of maybe some caramel, a lot of brown sugar, cinnamon. That same leathery nutmeg is still there, not quite as leathery, but really rough. A lot of black coffee. There's more black coffee in this cigar than was in the Robusto. Black pepper is still very good. The finish is some of that cedar with a touch of brown sugar and quite a bit of smooth nutmeg. Quite a bit of lingering black pepper. Medium to full body. And I'm sure we're going to move up. This cigar is going to be like in the strength category, a little like the Robusto. It's a very sneaky nutmeg. It starts out slow and it builds, and before you know it, it's like the frog in a pot of water, and before he knows, it starts to boil. Before he knows it, it's too late. And the Ligero will get there. But for this first third, I like the flavors. It's a lot darker, but different from the Robusto. I started off at 95. Very good cigar. So now this one has longer to transition. So let's see what we have in the second third. Into the second third. And different sizes and ring gauges have different effects on cigars. And I think this is an example of that, because this is not the same animal as the Robusto. And I just saw where Terence Reilly posted a picture of another size coming out in 2021, a 6x46, which will probably be different from these two. But that's down the road. This has much more coffee and nutmeg with now a little leatheriness. It's still a rough nutmeg. Still have your cedar, and it is cedar with brown sugar, but it's dipped. There's a lot of nutmeg in black coffee. Full body, we're right at it. The finish is primarily nutmeg with a little influence of cedar. The lingering black pepper is still good. The pepper on the front end, for that matter, is still good. But the intense sweetness that the Robusto had is not in this cigar. I'm curious, for those of you who have had both, if you agree with that. But that's my take. For the second third, I would drop it to 93. It is just not as sweet and overpowering as the Robusto was. For me, picking up the cigar and having these flavors right now, it's a 93. So that being said, let's see what happens in the final third. Well, we're down to the end. So let's wrap it up. It sort of kept going in the same direction. It lost a little more. This is not the same animal as the Robusto, and you can't expect it to be. It's just bigger. The pepper is still good on both ends. The cedar is there, but it's decreased somewhat. The brown sugar is also decreased. The leathery, somewhat, slightly leathery nutmeg. For the most part, now at this point, it's straight nutmeg, very rough still, and a lot of black coffee. is what you have. You have a lot more nutmeg and black coffee than sweeter notes. Full bodied, without doubt. Finish is unchanged. I'm a Toro guy, so I really wanted this to be just as good as the Robusto, but honestly, it's not. For the final third, I would lower it to 92. And that's a little painful to say because I wanted it to be just as good, but it wasn't quite there. So that's the way it goes. But still, it's a good cigar. I mean, it's nothing bad. It's just not at the level of the Robusto. So your overall score, 93.33. So we're up there with the better cigars, but it's not as good as their counterpart. That's about all you can say. So there you have it. The new Aganorsa Leaf Supreme Leaf Toro, 93.33.